Ah,
There it is.
I'm feeling it, Dave.
Waking up and it's a brand new day, glimmering in the morning light. All my troubles seem so far away. Everything just feels so right, so right. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. A whole lot of sunshine is coming my way. What a day. I keep smiling and I'm feeling fine. Happiness by my own device. I keep going for the highest high. Everything just feels so right, so right. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. A whole lot of sunshine is coming my way. What a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. A whole lot of sunshine is coming my way. What a day. Oh, what a day. Oh, what a day. A whole lot of sunshine is coming my way. What a day.
Wow. How you guys doing?
What a
You're
day.
great.
You guys
What a
ready?
day is right.
You ready to kick this off?
Yes, I'm just about to hit boom. Tweet, bam. The show is out there, Dave. It is out there.
I swear to God, Apple, do you guys have iPhones?
Yes.
I swear after 2 years, they slow your phone down on purpose so you have to go buy a new one.
Absolutely.
I completely agree. And it's particularly bad on Twitter.
It's,
don't know
it's
what it
so
is.
bad.
It's slowed down so much. And like the Browns game, it already slows down my Twitter. But then just add that layer to it of what the people at Apple do. And now it's just so excruciating right now. So excruciating.
That's right. Well, we don't have to worry
First
about them
world
being a
problems.
sponsor. That's right. So let's kick this off because the Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by Shacknews.com. Shacknews, your go-to for gaming news, covers all your gaming content needs. They have the latest reviews and articles covering everything in the gaming universe. They also have something cool. They're raising money for Children's Specialized Hospital out of New Jersey by putting on a marathon live stream gaming for that charity. Very, very cool stuff. Kudos to them. Head on over to Shack News. Get into the conversation. Click on that Shack News Twitter profile because when it comes to gaming news, there is only one site to visit, and that is shacknews.com. Oh, we have to talk Browns. Let's do it.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah,
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.
All the people in the comments are already getting to me. Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. Today is Monday, November 4th, 2019. I'm your host, Big Play Dave, alongside my main man, Mr. Chris McNeil.
Look at us. Look at us, Dave.
Look at us. Look at us. Look at Breezy Clee over there. How you doing,
Hey
Bree?
guys.
Welcome back to the
I
show.
don't know.
I like that shirt you got on there.
Thank you. Cleveland against the world, always.
Cleveland against the world. All right, let's get right into it. Tonight on the show, we've got Power Rank Monday, presented by Hover Helmets. We're going to rank our top 3 Bills, and that could be whatever you want. It could be Buffalo Bills or a person named Bill. Getting a little weird to start the show here. We will then break down the latest Cleveland sports headlines, including Jermaine Whitehead and a whole lot more. Do some over-unders, hit you with some would-you-rathers, and we'll give you our bold predictions for this week. Let's kick things off with some Power Rank Monday.
It's time for Power Rank Monday.
Guys, stores are starting to put out their Christmas decorations, and it's literally supposed to snow this week. It means it's probably the perfect time to start your holiday shopping. No better gift for that sports fan in your life than a Hover helmet sitting here right in the studio from hoverhelmets.com. They have helmets for the Browns. They've got them for the Buckeyes, an actually good team. They've got them for the Indians.
Ouch.
Right? Yeah, oh well. And any other team you might like out there, they probably have them on their site. Go check them out, hoverhelmets.com. All right, we're
I'm
looking.
guessing they don't have the floating wahoo, do they, for the Indians?
No,
The batting helmet?
yeah, they only have the batting helmets. They're actually very cool.
Check those out. I haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to get one for the studio here. All right, looking ahead to Sunday's Browns matchups with the Buffalo Bills, we are going to power rank our top 3 favorite Bills. All right, Nick, our show writer, he likes Jim Kelly, and $100 bill. Okay,
Get it, Bill?
Got
See,
it.
It's supposed
He's
to
so
be a pun
clever.
thing. I think that's what we're going for here.
That's
right?
why he's a writer on the show.
That's right.
All right, I will kick things off here with my number 3. I am going with Bill Goldberg. You guys remember Goldberg?
Oh, I do.
Yeah, Bree, remember Goldberg
No.
from wrestling?
No,
Oh,
she was-
come on, no. You didn't watch.
No.
You didn't watch any wrestling in high school?
I did watch wrestling, but I don't recognize that name.
Oh God, he was the most dominant wrestler probably of all time. No one could
Really?
beat. No one could beat this guy, even though it's fake. Literally, no one could beat him. He was the reverse Browns.
The reverse Browns. Oh, there's a lot of those out there.
Yeah, he did. So he didn't lose his title until, if you guys remember the guy Scott Hall, Razor Ramon. Remember this guy?
Razor Ramon. I
Yes.
remember Razor.
The Razor's Edge. He tased him.
Didn't
right-
he have the toothpick?
Yeah, he would
Yeah.
he'd put it and he'd throw it out to the crowd. Ultimate
How
heel.
gross
Like,
is that, really?
yeah, people catch it. Look, I got a toothpick. Yeah, tased him right into a jackknife power bomb from Kevin Nash. Loved wrestling in high school. Goldberg, my number 3. My number 2. Hate to put him on a list, but Bill Belichick.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah,
I had
that's
to go there. I mean, the
Ew.
Patriots just, destroyed us last week, and now you have to go Bill Belichick on us? I mean, come
probably
on.
probably the best coach of all time. I'm literally only including him
Paul
on
Brown is still around. Well, he's not
well,
around.
no, he's
but
not.
Paul Brown was, pretty good.
here. I'm only putting Bill on this list just so in case he might see this. Maybe he goes full circle, returns to Cleveland, biggest challenge of his career, fixes this nightmare that we have going on here in Cleveland.
He's going
It
to
can
come
happen.
back.
It can
LeBron's
happen.
Gonna come back. Kumbaya. We're going to have championships coming out. Yeah.
LeBron's finally going to play tight end for the Browns.
Just like that commercial teased.
Oh man, I'm sitting
Be
here,
the number 1 target.
right, drinking out of my Victory Monday mug. I don't even care anymore. I'm just going to start drinking out of it on Mondays. Cleveland Clothing, shout out there. My number 1, Bill Pullman. Love Bill Pullman. Greatest president of the United States of America ever.
There you go.
He literally could not go 5 minutes in Independence Day without going, like, my God. Like, oh my God. Like every cliche you could ever think of in a movie, Bill Pullman absolutely nailed it.
Cheesy speech, too.
Oh,
Very solid. Add points for that.
Fantastic movie. Chris, what do you got for your top 3 Bills?
All right, my number 3. Billy D. Williams. Remember him? Lando Calrissian for you younger folks who are watching Star Wars these days. But Billy D. used to do the Colt 45 commercials. Do you remember those, Dave?
Colt, they had commercials?
Oh,
Colt
come on,
45.
Bree. Do you remember Colt 45? Billy D. used to
No.
do these commercials. Colt 45 works every time.
Are you talking about the 40s?
Oh, yeah. Colt 45, Billy D. Williams. You have to look that one up. It is worth it. Works every time.
I had no
this.
idea that Colt 45 had a marketing budget.
Oh, my God. You guys are so uncultured. Look it up. Billy D. Williams, Colt 45, works every time.
All right.
Number 2, Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, back
There
in
we
the
go.
90s, Bill Clinton. Back before we were talking about so much politics. Back when he was just president, not political at all. It's the type of guy you could just have a beer with. He seemed that way.
Freddie
real
Kitchens.
Smart guy. Rhodes Scholar from the South. And, back in the 90s, people liked the guy. Politics were a little bit different. I'm not going to get into it here, but he just always seemed like the type of guy out of all the presidents you could sit down and have a beer with and watch the game. And I always loved that about that guy.
Chris, do you remember the Bill Clinton SNL skits where he would go into McDonald's on his jogs?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Played by Phil Hartman.
Yes. Right? Oh, yeah, the late great.
Which, by the way, he played a great Bill. Here's another Bill that's not on my list. Bill McNeil. Do you know what show he played Bill McNeil in? Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, Bill McNeil.
Bill McNeil in News Radio. News Radio. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah. That character was Bill McNeil. I like that last name. So that would have otherwise been my top Bill. But I had to go with number 1, the man, the myth, the legend, Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Whether it be Caddyshack or anywhere else that he's ever been, the guy is just unbelievable. I've always got a soft spot in him or for him for what he did in Caddyshack, because I always thought that was just such a fantastic movie. I watched it when I was way too young to actually get all of the jokes in it.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those, but Bill Murray, he was just a legend to me. So that'll be my number 1 Bill.
I feel like that's a movie you can watch with like your kids nowadays, where it still goes over their heads. But
remember though, it's one of those late 70s, early 80s movies where there was a rule in every comedy that they've got to have at least one nude scene. So when they do Caddy Day at the pool, you've got to be careful with the kiddos around. And I would tell you, my family had that idea. Oh, we could watch this with the whole family. And that was when I was just too young probably to be seeing it. I hit that scene and I was like, man, this is the greatest movie I have ever seen in my life. And I still, to this day, believe that.
I love it. Bri, what do you got for us on this Power Rank Monday?
All right, guys, this was tough because I got here a little late. But when I heard Bills, the first Bill that came to mind for me was good old Billy Bob, number 69 from Varsity Blues.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I give it a 10.
I love him. And R.I.P., by the way. He was played by Ron Lester, and he passed away 3 years ago, 2016. So long live Billy Bob.
That's right.
Depressing. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I know. All right, number 2.
Just not to cut you off here, but we're getting a ton of Bill Cosby's in the comments. So.
Oh, yeah, I avoided that one.
That's probably a good call.
J-E-L-L.
I had to agree with Nick here and go with some dollar bills. He said $100 bills. I'm going to go straight dollars. Put those guys in the penny slot machines, couple of pulls in Vegas, and that's all I need.
There we go. Dollar bills, singular dollar bills.
Dollar bills, single dollars. Number 1, my guy, Bill Nye, the science guy. Circa 90s Bill. We were talking about this earlier. Bill's a little bit different now, but I really enjoyed his show growing up and watching 30 minutes of straight science. The nerd in me.
Yeah, Bill, do you remember the teachers would roll in like the tube TVs
Oh, yeah.
and you'd be like, oh, it's time for Bill Nye.
Now,
Yeah.
now Bill Nye, I feel kind of took the throne and kind of ran with it after a particular guy by the name of Mr. Wizard. Do you remember Mr. Wizard from
Mr.
back in the day?
Wizard.
No?
No.
It kind of
I am
rings a
striking
bell.
out tonight.
Kind of rings
This
a
is
bell.
another one. Go check it out on
You
YouTube.
are.
Mr. Wizard. I think it was on Nickelodeon. And, I think back in those days they had rules that you had to have at least one show that was strictly educational for like a half an hour. So that was the one. And it was good. I always enjoyed the heck out of it. I mean, you do very basic experiments with these kids and stuff. But I think he was the pre-Bill Nye. He was Bill Nye before Bill Nye.
Wow. No.
Learning some things tonight.
Yeah, the educational show right here. Big Play
we
Reflux show.
go.
Here we go. Let's check in the comments here. Rising Buck 46, he just all caps ARG. He's ready to talk Browns. Let's see. We got some seasonal depression going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Chad says,
Same.
what's up, fam? Let's see here. Rising Buck says, welcome back, Bri.
Hello.
People are missing you, Bree.
That's right. Let's see. We got some Roll Tides in here. All right. Let's.
Roll Tide.
We got who would you draft first? Baker, Brandon Allen. A lot of people agreeing with
hot
the
take.
the dollar bills on here.
Yes.
Tanking for Tua. Oh my God, we got some comments in here. Someone on here was yep, confirmed. Apple products die after 2 years. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And Mayamo Esteban, those helmets are cool. Thanks. Go buy one. Go buy
they
one. All right, we'll get back to these comments in a little bit. For some reason, they're doubling up. Everyone's depressed with our Browns. So hey, let's go talk some Browns.
Get that happy music.
You want the all right? Happy music. There we go.
I hate this music now.
All right, a couple more. Some people in the comments with some Power Rank Monday. Some bills that we left out. We got One Leg Man says Billy Bob Thornton. Not
Beta
bad.
Bad Santa.
Oh, very underrated movie.
Is it underrated? I always thought it was upper crust for me anyway.
Really?
I was like, yeah. I didn't think it was underrated. I thought people respected that movie.
Yeah, we got Bill Buckner out there. Bill Burr.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anybody say Bill Green? Bill Green?
I have
Otherwise
not.
known as William Green? Come on. You remember him, Dave?
No, yes. He fell down the stairs onto a steak knife.
It happens. It happens. Middle of the night, you're just wandering around. You fall down your stairs onto a steak knife. God, those were the days, weren't they?
Those were-
We can look fondly
Hey,
back
we're-
on those days at Browns. Running back William Green.
Oh, we're not
falling
far
down
from
the
it.
stairs onto a steak knife.
We are not far from it. It's like people threatening to kill people on Twitter that are actual Browns players. All right, let's move on.
Happened.
Let's talk some Brownies. Let's get it going. Cleveland Headlines brought to you by our friends, our buddies over at Cleveland Clothing Company.
Hey, Dave, the Cavs are back in action. I went to the game yesterday, watched them play 3 solid quarters. 3 solid quarters. We ended up losing the game, but, we're a young team up and coming. You know what? It makes it the perfect time, though, to add to your NBA wardrobe with Cleveland Clothing Company. Everyone knows they are your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports. They also just released a new West Side Market collection for this fall. So stop by any of their locations, downtown at East 4th, in Akron at the Summit Mall, East Side and University Circle, and over here by the Big Play Studio at Crocker Park, or online at clevelandclothingco.com. Use the promo code BIGPLAY20. Get yourself that 20% off, Dave.
That's right. I am rocking the hoodie. They have by far the greatest hoodies, the most comfortable hoodies of all time. Chris, I know you can confirm that.
I can, and right now I'm wearing my zip-up hoodie from them, as well as my basic Clee, just the standard. I love this one.
That's right. And Bri rocking Cleveland against the world,
Ooh.
which cannot be
That's
Cannot be said any more than we are here today, because the Browns' disappointing season continued yesterday. 24-19 loss to Brandon Allen and the Broncos. All right, just kick things off here. I'm going to give you guys some members of the Browns. I just want your initial thoughts, initial reactions, just hearing their name. And Chris, I'm going to start with you.
Oh, come on.
Freddie Kitchens.
God, there's so many people. I think you were amongst those, Dave, yesterday, that are calling for his head right now and saying that he needs to be fired. I haven't seen any improvement out of these Cleveland Browns up to this point. We continue to make the same mistakes, continue to have bad play call after bad play call, continue to just make maddening decisions when it comes to whether to challenge a play or whether we need to take a penalty or what we do with timeouts. I just maddening over and over again. I'm not one of the ones, though, that's calling for his head right now just because I don't think it benefits us.
Yeah.
But, oh, my God. You just get to a point where you're just so frustrated that words don't even do it justice right now with this guy. I watched the game yesterday, right before the Cavs game, with the sound down, and I was just yelling at the TV in the middle of the arena there, just going, "What are you doing?" Like everything. It's just so maddening. I don't know. I have no more words for Mr. Freddie Kitchens. It's just been ugly, Dave, and it's just so frustrating to watch.
It really has. We had a caller call in the voicemail line. I guess I sent out a tweet and opened up the lines yesterday. Let's see what they had to say about Freddie Kitchens.
I have sat through the 1-15 season, the 0-16 season. Nothing has been harder than to sit through this team this year. With all this talent and all these players, I just don't know. Freddie has to go. He has to go now.
All right. He's got.
How do you do that now, though? I mean, what's the better option?
No, and I'm with you, Bri. Where do you fall on this?
I go back and forth on this one. I actually am going to turn this around on John Dorsey. This is a John Dorsey hire.
Mm-hmm.
He handpicked this guy. I know that there was a lot of talk about Baker Mayfield wanting Freddie Kitchens. They wanted to keep the consistency. I thought it was a good idea. But at the end of the day, this goes back to John Dorsey. And I feel like, does he have too much pride to own up to his mistake? Because the fact of the matter is, Freddie Kitchens was not ready for this job, and we put him in a position that we shouldn't have put him in. So at the end of the day, I don't think it is Freddie's fault, because he's not qualified to do this job. And it is very, very clear after 8 games that is the case.
Well, he clearly interviews well, and he wanted the job. It seems like he's tricked John Dorsey into this.
I mean, he speaks well. He says what you want him to say. It felt like at training camp, he said the right words. It felt like the team was prepared. The players loved him. But it's like Hugh Jackson died and came back as Freddie Kitchens.
Oh, God.
Sorry.
And a lot of people are saying Ken Zampese was actually the mastermind behind the offense going last year. And we went with Freddie, obviously, in this case. And now, I mean, if you want Ken, you have to go to the Atlanta Legends or something. He's out there in the AAF or wherever the hell he's at.
The XFL.
But it really makes you think about those quotes from earlier on the season when they were saying, I don't know about this Freddie guy. I don't know that he was really pulling the strings last year.
Well, I mean, that makes you think, because you look at this year and you look at last year. He's called the plays the entire time. The only thing that's changed is basically Odell Beckham Jr., which should be a positive for the team overall. Like, I don't understand how Freddie Kitchens can go from strong play calling last year, where we did very, very well, to this year where he's running the ball with Dontrell Hilliard on to the outside on 3rd down. He doesn't have Chubb in the game on 3rd down and 4th down, and that's kind of where my breaking point in that game came with Freddie. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense the play calling that he's doing. I'm not even talking about the plays. I'm talking about the actual people on the field for those plays. Like, how can you mess this up that much?
Well, we talk about this a lot with quarterbacks, and especially young quarterbacks. You wait for the game to start to slow down for them. The game seems to be going too fast when they're a rookie, and they've really got to pace themselves, get the game, and overcome that so that it slows down, and then they can actually get through their progressions, make the right decisions, and really understand what they're doing. I think that goes for a young head coach as well. I think the game is just way too fast for him still right now. And that's where, Dave, I was talking about, would have been nice a couple of weeks ago to start taking some of the play calling away so that he can concentrate on some of the other little things and then add that back in maybe later on. But I just think he's got a lot on his plate. I think the game is moving way too fast for him, and we're seeing all the mistakes continue to be made. I mean, we have more penalties than any football team on God's green acres every week, and it's just unbelievable to me that hasn't been corrected at all. He continues to make the same mistakes week after week, and until it starts to slow down for him, we're in for that. And it doesn't seem like the organization's done anything to help him with that at this point.
So do you think that he can be a good head coach? You know, the reason he got the job is because of play calling. Everyone loved his play calling. He meshed with Baker very, very well. Bri, do you think that he can be a good head coach if you take away the play calling? Because all of his decisions, I don't know if it's the play calling that's messing it up, are extremely questionable.
Yeah, and I think what's disheartening about all of this is that last week, and actually the last few weeks, we've been sitting here saying if we can stop the penalties and stop shooting ourselves in the foot, what can this football team look like? And we did that yesterday. We did cut the penalties in half. We didn't turn the ball over, and we still couldn't come out with a win. And you look at the red zone offense, and we have a top receiver in the NFL, and he doesn't get targets. We have guys that no other team would pick up on their practice squad getting more targets than Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry. Oh, and by the way, Nick Chubb. It's mind-boggling. Hilliard is not Duke Johnson. It's like we traded these guys away, and we tried to plug in these backup players into that system and that scheme that just didn't work. I mean, Dave Njoku's out. We don't have Duke Johnson. We're going to get Kareem Hunt back. That'll hopefully take some of those third down backs and be a pass running back. But I don't know, guys. I think a lot of stuff we thought would just fall into place, and it truly hasn't.
Dude, it's really weird. I was looking at the stats of the game. I've never been more mad during a game than I was that yesterday? Wow, that was only yesterday. I feel like
yesterday.
I feel like that was like a month ago.
Yeah.
But
I remember it.
Look at these stats. Baker Mayfield, 27 of 42, 273 yards and a touchdown. Nick Chubb had 20 rushing attempts. Odell Beckham had 87 yards. Landry had 51 yards and a touchdown. I mean, if you just look at it on paper, the offense, it doesn't look all that bad statistically, which is really, really strange. And I'm back here wondering, like, what on earth is going on that they look so bad, but the stats are still there. And I have to go back to Freddie Kitchens and his managing of the game and just making stupid decisions throughout that game.
Mm-hmm.
Was there a point in that game where you felt confident about what the Browns were doing? I mean, at no point when I was watching that game did I think the Browns were going to win that game. And we were right there the whole time. I mean, we were in that ball game from beginning to end, essentially. And at no point did I think the Cleveland Browns were going to win that game. And that goes straight to the head coach right there.
Yep.
I really think so.
I was going to ask you guys, too, not to just talk about the offense, but I was disappointed with the defensive game plan. And I wanted to get your thoughts, too, on Freddie Kitchens from the defensive side, because obviously we have Wilkes as the coordinator, and a lot of that fault falls on him. But as a head coach, how unprepared did we look against a quarterback that has never actually thrown an NFL pass before?
God, that hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And not only that, he's picking us apart, but we can't tackle. Talk about mistakes again. Now all of a sudden, tackling has just gone away entirely. That run, I mean, from our man Jermaine Whitehead getting just totally destroyed, took care of that problem. He's gone. But I just
That-
was
that-
a
that
microcosm
hit.
of the problems that we were having all day.
That hit stick on Noah Fant on Jermaine Whitehead is like still ingrained into my memory. Like I fell asleep and I was just watching that over and over. I've never seen someone get hit that hard, broken hand or whatever he said that he had.
He was a speed bump, and we saw so much of that yesterday. And then once again, that's the little stuff. A little stuff a team like us has to get right in order to win ball games.
But Bree, going back to your point about the defense, I mean, we were in position for
Yeah.
two very early interceptions in that game. Miles Garrett
Yep.
obviously dropped that one.
Why
That-
did he jump?
Dude, that I remember when I lived in Chicago and we were playing flag football like outside downtown Chicago. It was like a company event or something at the time, and I was super nervous to play. And there was just this lob up, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it!" And I jumped. And there was no reason to jump, and I jumped and I missed it, and I looked like an idiot.
Yeah. You
Well,
could
so
tell
did
a
he,
lot-
and he was laughing about it, and I get it. It's
You
funny,
have
but I
to.
wanted him to be so angry. I wanted him to be mad about not catching that.
It was an angry
laughing.
laugh. I think it was an angry laugh inside. I think it was. But you had that one,
be.
and then you had Denzel Ward. Perfect defensive positioning for an interception. And
Yeah.
Cortland Sutton, he was just too big, 6'4". I don't know. I feel like the defensive game plan was okay up until that point, and then we gave up, kind of like we did with the Titans game. We just were like, you know what, we're cashing it in. We're not going to tackle anymore.
Yeah, you're not tackling. And then, like Bree was saying, I mean, this is a quarterback, Brandon Allen, who hasn't started in the NFL, and we made him look pretty good yesterday. It's just maddening to do that. And you just kind of knew, didn't we kind of know? We were kidding around about it last week that this guy would come in and play well. And sure enough, it does. Even Gab was saying that she was kind of rooting for him to play well, for us to win somehow. Well, she got at least half of that.
She ruined
right,
it.
because because he played pretty well for himself, and they got the win. And just crap like that. It always happens to our Cleveland Browns. I don't know. You would expect us to eventually, at some point, be able to put together a defense that would make Brandon Allen look like a Brandon Allen should look, a quarterback who hasn't started in the league. It shouldn't be that hard. You're not taking it back a week before where you're asking them to overcome Tom Brady and Bill Belichick and everything that they've got. You're talking about Brandon Allen and a Denver Broncos team who is not good at all and who has very limited interest in even winning a ball game like that. But despite all that, we still made them look good. And it's just maddening. I don't, as a fan, you get to the end of your rope with things like this. You'd expect somebody in that organization to be able to turn something like that around, and it just happens week after week. They surprise us in just another way, in a bad way.
One of the most surprising things this year, I think, is Baker Mayfield. And Bree, you're a huge Baker Mayfield fan. We all are, but you especially. What the hell is going on with Baker Mayfield this year? Jake Trotter came out not that long ago today with a disturbing stat here. Jake Trotter from ESPN. Two brutal stats for Baker Mayfield. Among qualifying passers, he is now last in the NFL for quarterbacks at completion percentage and touchdown to interception ratio. So probably two of the most important stats. He's the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
What is going on?
He looks so unsure of himself.
Yes.
Every single snap, every single play. It's so hard to wrap your head around because last year he just looked so at ease, so sure of himself, so confident. And I know everyone saw the pictures floating around Twitter and the internet today where he looks literally like a completely different person after being the Browns quarterback for a year and a half.
He doesn't look well.
He does not. He looks unwell. He looks like all of us. But I don't want to give up on Baker quite yet because I think he has it in him. He's a competitor. He doesn't give up. It's just something's got to change for these last 8 games. I fear that we will ruin him. And I think he's a number 1 draft pick. We can't ruin him. We've invested too much at this point in time. And this is why the coaching staff needs to be taken a really hard look at this point in time, because that's our future. And as you know, we're going to have to pay some of these people in the next few years. So got to get this figured out.
But, I mean, kind of back to my point earlier is, I mean, Freddie was calling the plays last year. He looked fantastic with Baker. This year he looks like garbage. The only thing that I can think is that has changed is the offensive line, and we've added a top-tier wide receiver. Do you think, like Chris, back in the postgame show, we talked about this all the time. Didn't matter which receiver he was hitting, he was going to go to the open guy. He was going to hit 8 to 10. He was going to spread it around. He was going to hit, 8 to 11. Every eligible person that could catch a football on the field, he was going to hit him. And it didn't matter when or who or what it was. There was no drama with it. And now you've got Odell Beckham. Do you think that pressure is getting to Baker?
The pressure of trying to get the ball into spots where he otherwise wouldn't have put him. I don't know, because I'm not necessarily seeing that. I'm seeing when he is hitting those guys, he's making bad throws. Yeah, and he's hitting them in the hands. So I it's one of those where Odell should be able to make some of these catches. He can make them one-handed, but two-handed, they go off his hands. I don't get it in some of these cases, but they're also off-target throws. Let's be honest. They are not in position A. They're in position B or C. They're not always in position F, but they're not where I would expect Baker Mayfield to be putting the ball. And I want to go back to something you said, Brita. I will take one objection to what you said, which is the Browns will ruin Baker Mayfield. Here's the one thing, and I love this aspect of Baker from when he came in, the machismo, the bravado of Baker Mayfield from the beginning. That's all well and good, and that was great. We enjoyed it back in August when he's shotgunning the beers, at the Indians game, and the Indians come back and win. That's all great stuff. And when he's and he didn't really even talk much in the offseason, but you see the commercials, you see other things. The Baker brand is out there, and he's big about that brand. Well, now I don't think it's fair then to turn it on its head and say, oh, poor Baker, boy, the Browns are ruining him. Now, Baker's got a part to this as well. Even if the offensive line isn't quite what we want it to be, the Browns have given him, as you were saying, OBJ, who any QB in the league would just absolutely be drooling over having, on top of having Landry, on top of having Chubb back there. He's got weapons out there, and he's got to learn to be able to overcome the weaknesses on this team and utilize the things that we did give him. So although I would agree with you that we're not doing him many favors at times, I pin a lot of this on Baker. If you're going to be the guy, damn it, be the guy now. Be that guy. Show that machismo on the field. Learn how to roll when you're supposed to. Learn how to buy yourself some extra time. Don't be so skittish in the pocket at times. Go back to being that confident Baker we were looking for, not the pale guy in the overcoat that we saw in the post-game presser there. I want to see that other Baker. Even if you may not have it, fake it until you make it, Baker. You've been doing it up to this point. Continue to do it, and just put the work in to get yourself to the point we need you to be at. It's not on the Browns entirely. It's got to be on Baker as well.
Throw
I think the
ball
one thing
deep.
that I will say, I'm going to counter Chris here for a minute, Dave, because the one thing
counter away.
It's clear that there's some trust lacking. Now, where that trust is lacking, I'm not 100% certain, whether that's with the play calling, with the coaching staff, with his receivers. There's a lot of stuff happening, I think, that we're not clear on. I also think there's the mental factor that plays into it with how many interceptions that he's thrown. I think he's in his own head. I think he is in his own space. He doesn't want to screw up. I feel like the Baker last year played with that confidence. He didn't give an F. And I feel like this year he's put so much pressure on himself with all the hype surrounding him that he hasn't been able to overcome himself. The other thing that I will say, and I will put some onus on him, though, with the fact that I do think he wanted Freddie Kitchens in this role. So, Baker, you have him now. So you have to figure out how to make this work with what worked last year. It kind of reminds me of LeBron James in a way. Obviously, he's not the player that LeBron James is from a football nature, but LeBron orchestrated that Cleveland Cavaliers roster and coaching staff to exactly how he wanted it. So if he was going to start complaining, Like this is on Baker in that regard.
Which is
like
exactly
this,
what LeBron did. LeBron did at times complain. He'd say, go get this guy, go get this guy, go get Shaq, go get whatever. They'd bring him in, and then nationally everybody would say, oh, poor LeBron, look at the Cavs that surrounded him with. It's like, that's what LeBron wanted. Now, Baker stopped making those same kind of, but he's doing the same kind of thing. There's a lot of parallels there.
Yeah.
Getting some Cavs talk in here. We had one of these, so we always send out, give us your hottest takes on the Browns on the Big Play Reflog Twitter. Cool. And Chad Conant, sorry if I butchered your last name, he says, going full circle on the Cavs here, he says Freddie's a lot like David Blatt, a guy who could have grown into the role as the team grew up, but a significant infusion of talent left them in over their heads as those expectations changed. Do you guys agree with that?
Interesting. And I was thinking about this today. It sure would have been nice to have a guy out there waiting in the wings that you could go get off the street like a Bill Parcells. Obviously you wouldn't hire a Bill Parcells here in this case, but remember they brought him into Dallas when they were a wreck. He got Tony Romo kind of going in the right direction. And if Tony Romo could have held the ball, they would have won a playoff game that year. But a guy like that who could give you some immediate credibility from a coaching standpoint, so that you don't have the players and all their egos kind of overwhelming the coaching staff. I think that would have been pretty helpful for this organization and for where they are at. So I could definitely see that. But hey, this is the girl we brought to the dance at this point. And boy, at some point you got to start looking at Dorsey going, okay, Plan A isn't working. Plan B might not be working. Where are we at on Plan C, D, and F? I'm trying to get this thing straightened for this season.
All right, so a couple potential courses of action here. Give me a quick reaction to these. Either of you, fire Freddie. Should we do it or no? No.
Nah.
No. I think I'm actually with you for the season. Keep Freddie. Give Monken the play calling.
Yes.
Yes.
That seems too easy, though, Dave.
I don't know. I don't even know if I agree with that, though. Like, I'd rather give Monken the head coaching. I'd rather put him in charge. I'd rather put Freddie in charge of the play calling, and that's it, and try to go back to the happiness we had of 2018 and have someone else do these challenges. How many challenges can you lose?
So Dorsey calls Freddie into his office, says, hey, Freddie, here, buddy boy, here's the good news. The good news is we're going to let you keep play calling. What we're going to do is we're going to take all the other head coaching responsibilities off of your plate and give those to Monken. How does that sound to you, buddy boy? I love it. Well, Dave, that's just thinking
Isn't that
outside
genius?
the box. That's exactly what this Browns team needs.
Come on, let's go.
I love it. Flip the script.
That's right. Should we go all in, no matter what, for Lincoln Riley? A lot of that on Twitter. A lot of that in the comments.
I
don't think so, right?
Coaches right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
I'm not totally sold on Lincoln Riley anyway.
Yep. Should we sign Antonio Brown? Just let the world burn.
Why the hell not?
We need help at wide receiver. Let's go after Josh Gordon too. I know he's with Seattle right now, but maybe we could pry him away.
We could trade someone for him. Yeah, why not? Should we tank for Chase Young?
I am not kidding you. Today, I went online and I put together Chase Young Cleveland Browns jersey.
Oh, come on.
Number 2. What number is he going to wear, though? Because he's a 2 right now. So what's he going to be when he gets to the NFL? I assume they're not going to let him wear 2 at a defensive end position. But
do we need to draft another quarterback?
No. We got to give Baker another year, even if he continues to fall down. Get out of here.
Kick Jimmy Haslam out of Cleveland and let the fans buy the team.
Yes.
Cleveland radio locally up here, there was a ton of talk about obviously how disgusted everyone was with everything here with the Browns, but a lot of it came down to culture, and it starts at the top with Jimmy Haslam. Do you think he's the problem with all of this? I don't necessarily agree with it.
Ooh.
Jimmy Haslam is Jimmy Haslam, whatever. But
yeah,
I think it's play calling. Like, I think we have the talent. I don't think it's a culture thing. Yes, it would be nice to have a better culture where we have less players threatening to kill media personalities after games. But I think if you fix the play calling and you fix Baker Mayfield, none of that matters quite as much as people are saying it does.
People love to talk broadly about culture.
Right?
And
Yes, I agree.
One of the things we asked Jimmy Haslam, I mean, the fan base asked Jimmy Haslam was, step away. You're not a football guy. Go get a football guy, right? And he's tried to do that. I hate backing him up because I think at times he's kind of slimy. But we asked him to step back and go find a football guy, and he did that. He got his GM Dorsey in here, and he's stepped away. You don't see D, you don't see Jimmy, you see Dorsey, and you see Freddie Kitchens out there. And I think that's a testament to what he's doing. And once again, I hate giving the guy credit, but I don't know what else you would ask for out of an owner. I mean, he's spending money. He's putting what he thinks is the right personnel in the right spots. And hell, you rewind this a few months ago, everybody was building statues to Dorsey. So it's not like he was grabbing guys who were completely out of left field. He went and got his guy. And I think everybody was on the same page. He was a good guy for the position. So I don't know that I would go as far as owner right now. I really don't.
I would agree with you there. And a lot of people are ripping John Dorsey for the character issues because, John Dorsey, he says he cares about character issues. He really doesn't. I mean, you look at his draft track record. He's got some knuckleheads out there, even being here with the Browns. But you look at teams like the Patriots, like people will be like, oh, the Patriots would never do something like that. Yes, every NFL team would do something like that to win football games. I mean, the Patriots went out and got Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon.
Yeah. And when those guys don't work out there, it's just like it's on them. But if they don't work out here in Cleveland, it's because of the bad culture in Cleveland. And that's the way it's going to be. You know what?
Until we win.
Correct.
Yes.
Is winning. It's winning.
Yep.
The Cavs, when they won the championship, honestly, how great of a culture do you think that really was? I don't know. I think that team kind of bonded for a little while, but it didn't stick together. It didn't last. There were all kinds of problems, but they came together and they won, and everybody said, oh, what a great story. It was great, and we got what we wanted out of it. I think winning cures a lot of these ills at the end of the day, and right now we haven't had many W's, so you start looking at things like culture. Yeah,
very, very well said. Winning fixes everything. Yeah, I don't know. I think we've probably hit on that game probably enough. What do you say? Let's move on. Because we have another Cleveland Browns game coming up.
Ugh.
We're 2-6. They're 6-2. We got the Buffalo Bills. We're hosting them here in Cleveland, Ohio. The Bills Mafia. What are you guys' expectations for this game, Bri?
Let's score when we get in the red zone. How about that? A touchdown.
Hey, we're really good at getting there.
Although, shout out to Austin Seibert, killing it on the field goal game.
He's incredible.
He's been great, and I wish that we gave him a shot to actually make a meaningful field goal, right? Where it could be a game winner. We haven't had a field goal kicker that has been able to do that.
We were kicking like our fourth field goal in like the first, few minutes of the game since we got into the red zone so many times. And I was actually on my phone at the bar looking down during the kick because I just knew I had no fear. This was not Greg Joseph. So that is one positive.
Yeah, right after you watched the early game, did you guys see what Vinatieri did?
Oh, my.
Just totally shanking the ball against the Steelers.
Frickin' Finkel.
Talk about rubbing salt into the wound, right? It's not bad enough that the Browns blew it. Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Yep, you're absolutely right. But you're right. Both our kicker and our punter, Scottish Hammer, man, both of those guys, got to love our special teams right now.
This is so pathetic. Yep.
It really is.
Also, wait, I'm waiting though.
What?
Based on how well our special teams are playing, do we not have a fake punt that we can get a third down or a fourth down with a fake punt draw?
Bri.
Come on, Scottish Hammer.
Thank you, Bri.
Freddie
I've been waiting for that all season.
Freddie will get ripped so hard when we don't get it.
Trick plays on offense. Just why don't we fake out the other team and let the Scottish Hammer just go ham?
On
Hammer go ham.
Yep, and
Put it on
I'm
a
with
t-shirt.
Chris. Yeah, put it on a t-shirt. I like that, Bree. I'm with Chris. I say we do it on like second down.
Yeah, let's run a Wildcat. Let's bring back the Wildcat. Just
Really
for him.
freak him out. He can be
That's
our
right.
Josh Cribbs.
The RPO, the run punt option. I mean, come on, revolutionizing the NFL with the RPO, run punt option.
Oh
Amazing.
no, Chris, this is a pride game, isn't it? We
Everything's
haven't.
a pride game anymore.
No,
Come on.
I don't
We're not
know.
going anywhere.
We
We're not
haven't.
going
We
anywhere.
haven't
Did you
won
see
at
the
home.
Steelers? They're getting things right. The Ravens, they're getting things right. You know what we're doing? We're going the opposite way. We're talking about the Bills.
We're 0-3 at home.
I know. How about that? How about the fact that the Cavs won at home twice before we've won once?
Oh my god. We've only
Right?
scored 20 points once in the last 4 games.
It's just disgusting. This is just
This could be the start of an 8-game winning streak.
Yeah, it could be. We say that every
Yes.
like, oh, once we get past the Patriots. Oh, once we do this. Oh, once this happens.
All right, here's some positives
then,
for you guys.
Then we're just going to be different. Then it'll be different. Yeah, it'll be different.
Let me perk you up here. Chubb is on pace for over 1,600 yards on the season. Not bad.
Congratulations.
Not bad.
He's the best.
Myles Garrett's on pace for over 20 sacks on the season.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
We have a lot of positives on this team. We just can't. You know what we can't do? We can't execute. We can't
Can't
do
put 'em
the
all together.
execution. As Freddie would say, execute, execute, execute. Over and over every press conference. It's
Yeah, he did.
so
He did.
annoying.
So many times. One of the things he's going to do
It's
is
his
get
check
Kareem
the
Hunt in
tape.
there. He's going to get yeah, it's exactly what it is. He's going to get Kareem Hunt in there
Yeah.
to take away some of those carries from Chubb, so Chubb doesn't reach that 1,600-yard mark. That's what's going to happen right off the bat.
We got Baker Mayfield versus Josh Allen, battle of the 2018 first rounders.
Yeah, baby.
If you had to pick one, who would you take right now?
Baker Mayfield.
Absolutely. Bree, you,
Ride-
you still with
ride.
Baker, right?
I'm always ride or die with Bake.
Baker Mayfield actually has very similar numbers to Josh Allen. A couple more
That's fair.
interceptions, a few more yards. I don't
He's a
think
little-
Josh Allen's all that great of a quarterback.
Baker Mayfield's
And
a little bit.
somehow they're winning.
I didn't think Brandon Allen was that great of a quarterback, though.
No, you were right on that too. By the way, it just hasn't borne itself out once they play a real team.
Yeah. I don't know. What are your guys' predictions for this game?
It'll be fun because it's the Bills Mafia. Those
Yep.
are like our brothers in arms over there. I mean, it's kind of funny too because you go back to what we used to be playing Jim Kelly against Bernie Kosar and some of those great rivalry games we'd have against the Bills. Then when the Browns went away, they were supportive of us, even in absentia of Browns fans, and I always appreciated that about Buffalo and Bills Mafia. They're kind of our brothers from another mother in that way. And you get those fan bases together. The Bills Mafia has a good time. We all know Cleveland has a good time. So that part of the game off of the field will be very good. That'll be something to see. But on the field, who knows? Hopefully we don't get slaughtered because I'm just scared. The Bills are one of those teams on the way up, and we're one of those teams that are in transition right now. And those are the type of games that the Browns like to just go out and totally hose. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen.
Bree, we going to win this game?
We're going to win, and Freddie Kitchens is going to win his first challenge. Mark it. You heard it here first.
Double down. It'll be on the pass interference too that no one wins on the
Oh, my
With OBJ.
OBJ. That's right. And what shoes is he going to be wearing?
Hopefully the clown ones again.
I kind of like the clown ones. He could
I like them.
Yeah.
It's not why we lost, just
I don't get
Oh,
why,
yes, it is.
why
Out
people...
there.
Between that and the watches,
I mean,
that's what keeps
come
us
on.
back.
Why-
That's
why-
what's holding us
yeah.
back. It's watches and shoes.
I guess it's better
Come
to talk about that than how awful we look on the field.
That's exactly right.
exactly.
Go to the actual problems that we have in this organization. No. Let's talk about cleats and watches.
One thing that the Browns haven't done all year, and this goes back to Bree, where you were talking about Baker looking hesitant, we have not thrown the deep ball at all. I think we rank as one of the worst teams as a deep threat when we have Jarvis Landry, we have Odell Beckham, we have plenty of options. Antonio Callaway is supposed to be a burner. I just don't understand why he doesn't just throw the ball to Odell Beckham in double coverage and just see what happens.
Yeah, because he's definitely got, as we know, the talent to do that and to be able to come up with that ball. Does it concern you at all? There's this thought in the back of my head when they're not doing that maybe from what they see in practice, that maybe Baker doesn't quite have the kind of consistency we think he does with the deep ball, that they don't have any faith in him really throwing that deep ball very often.
I
mean, I don't know.
It's got to be. I don't know. I mean, I kind of remember him throwing some deep balls last year, and it was completely fine. So, I mean, old age hasn't kicked in yet.
That's not what I'm saying.
Don't look at the picture.
People get banged up. All of a sudden, we have this happen in baseball where you have players who can't throw to first just magically all of a sudden.
Like Chuck Knobloch.
Chuck Knobloch. There we go. Thank you.
Yep.
It does happen. And I don't know. Maybe there's something they're seeing in practice going, oh, shoot, we cannot have him throwing the ball down the field. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, obviously. But
so his canon, he is the John Lester of football.
Yeah, he's just forgotten how to throw.
Oh, no. I think we're going to win this game. I think that Baker Mayfield...
Oh, you people, man.
I do. I don't think the
you
Bills...
guys never learn.
The Bills aren't...
You guys never learn.
They're not a 6-2 team. Josh Allen's not that good.
Glutton for punishment.
Frank Gore is old, even though he looks good. I think we're going to win. I think Baker's finally going to look good. We're going to see Freddie smile. No one's going to call for his head after this game. He's not going to challenge anything. Bri. I'd rather him go 0 for 0. Please don't.
I've sold all of my Cleveland Browns stock. It's gone. There is no way. I'll start buying in a few weeks, but right now I am selling them off. I don't think that they're going to win this ball game. I think there's something about them playing at home. I think there's something about the Bills being on their way up. I think there's a problem with Baker. I think there's something going on there. I just do not see this turning out well.
All right, let's talk real quickly about a team that's looking decent, or I guess above expectations, where they didn't have any expectations. The Cleveland Cavaliers, 2-4 now. Chris, you actually went to the game up here in Cleveland, Ohio. How was it, man? How was the new Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse?
Yeah, what are we calling it, by the way? The Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse is just a lot to say. But no, the upgrades are really cool. You'll have to go by, see it. They've got these new portals with graphics, kind of a cave of graphics that you can walk through. And they have sponsors. They have Sherwin-Williams. They have cool Cavs logos. They've got the players up there. They've got like basketballs and really cool. It definitely overwhelms the senses. It's a neat thing. And then you come out of there and you get to see the Larry O'Brien trophy from 2016, get your picture taken with it, and then turn around and, the guys from Fox Sports are right there. They do their live hits right there in the lobby. And it's right there. I was right there probably 15 feet away from Mike Fratello, Jeff Phelps, and Campy Russell.
Love Jeff Phelps.
So, yeah, they were just right there, and it was really cool. They've done a nice job with the upgrades. The team itself on the floor, kind of the opposite of the Browns sometimes, is they're young and they're trying hard. They hung with the Mavericks through 3 quarters, and that in that game, contrary to what you see in the Browns, I really felt we had a chance to win. Now in the fourth quarter, the Mavs just said. And just ran away with it. But it was fun to watch. It's nice to see the guys out there. We don't have any injuries yet to Kevin Love. Tristan's playing. And then our young backcourt is fun to watch. The Sexland, as we've all affectionately called it. I'm really excited about what this team is going to do. It's going to take them a little while, of course, but they're definitely putting the energy in out there. And it was a good time. It was a good time.
How Darius Garland look in person?
He looked good. I tell you what, all those guys, man, they're out there hustling, and even the offense. I remember back to when we had LeBron, and it was more of a plodding offense at times. You just kind of wait for LeBron to kind of do his thing, and now we're swinging the ball around there. Beeline's got these guys just offensively moving the ball more than I have seen in the past.
I keep forgetting he's our coach.
I know, isn't that wild?
Love him.
Yeah.
Good coaching. What do you know?
Could Beeline coach the Cavs and the Browns?
And the
There you go.
Browns.
The one thing that they're going to definitely have to learn is how to play defense, because there was not a lot of defense being played in that ball game at all on that end of the ball. Tristan had a few nice blocks. There was some defensive stance, but for the most part, that was few and far between. So young team, they'll have to learn defense, but they're exciting. They're exciting. They're worth a watch.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to hit you guys with some over-unders here real quick. Are you ready?
No.
All right, perfect. Then I will go to Bri. Bri,
Yes.
the over-under 1.5 is the number. Wins by Cleveland teams before next week's show. So, Browns have the Bills at home, and the Cavs have Celtics, Wizards, and Knicks. 4 games, 1.5, over-under.
Over.
What are the games?
Nice.
Browns are winning, and the Cavs are beating the Knicks.
Nice.
Yes.
Can we throw
Maybe
Ohio
the
State
Celtics.
into there? Throw Ohio State
I
in
was,
there. So we
I was
get some
surprised Nick didn't put Ohio State in there. Yeah.
Well, we got Ohio State, and by the way, in
Yeah.
two sports, because they're playing obviously this weekend, the Buckeyes in football, and then on Wednesday they open up against the Cincinnati Bearcats in basketball. So
Exciting.
yeah, I apologize to the women's team. I don't know if there were any women's basketball games or hockey or any of those, but I know that those two primarily are playing men's football and men's basketball.
There you go. No arena teams. I think the arena league took a year off.
They did.
Are they still around? I don't know.
I think so. I think that was last year they took the year off, right?
I don't know.
I
I'm talking
don't
about the
know
whole
which ones.
league. I think the whole league's gone.
Okay.
I don't know. Whatever. All right,
R.I.P.
Bri,
Gladiators.
Chris, I'm going to go to you. 299 over under passing yards by Baker Mayfield. Caveat to this, he's only gone over that mark twice this year. Bills only allow 200 passing yards per game.
Wow, there's a stat. I'll take the under. I think Baker, we're going to run the ball more. It's going to be more of a plotting offense. And, I don't see him hitting 300 yards.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, Bri, back to your bold prediction. 0.5 is the number. 0.5. Failed challenges by Freddie Kitchens. He's had 3 in the last 2 weeks.
Under. He's going to win.
He's going to win. There you go.
Win,
He's going to win the challenge.
He's going to win a challenge.
So he's not going to have a failed one.
Hey, I like that. All right, let's move on to Would You Rather. That's enough of the over-unders. Would you rather? Where is my sound? There you are. All right, Chris, I am looking at you.
All right.
Mr. McNeil, would you rather be threatened on social media by Mike Clevenger or Jermaine Whitehead?
Which one asking for my government name? I'd have to go Clevenger because, he's the hippie type, laid back. We were talking about Bills earlier, more of a Bill Walton than somebody who's really going to come after me. So I'll go Clev. I think he'd be more cool about it. And I think once cooler heads prevail, he'd be more likely just to kind of forget about the whole thing, which I think he's done by this point, hopefully.
Bri, would you rather your best player be on the field for a crucial 3rd and 4th down play or have him on the sideline?
Well, if I'm the Cleveland Browns, they're definitely going to be on the sideline.
That's right.
So awful. So awful.
Well, Miles,
with Kareem Hunt
be
coming
fair,
back,
Miles
they're
doesn't play offense, so.
Yeah.
this is true.
And the
This is
Scottish
true.
Hammer, he's only in there on special teams.
Wow. All right.
Can we? That sucks.
Bold predictions. It's bold prediction time. Bri, you already gave one. Are you sticking with that
I already
one?
gave one.
I like it.
Yes, I'm sticking with it.
What was your bold prediction?
Freddie Kitchens wins a challenge. The Kitchens Challenge.
Wow, that is a bold prediction right there.
That
Brady.
might be the boldest one we've had on this show ever.
bold.
I know.
Chris, you have a bold prediction for us?
Yeah, how about we have Jarvis Landry and OBJ both go over 100 yards receiving, and Nick Chubb goes over 100 yards rushing. How about that?
And you said we're not going to win the game?
Yeah, and we're still going to lose somehow. Internal consistency is not something I'm striving for in this show, by the way.
It'll be a missed field goal.
Chris is like, I don't even remember saying that 20 minutes ago.
That's right. Austin Seibert, unfortunately, does not continue his streak, and he misses one to kill us.
Wow.
Oh, that would be a very Browns way to lose, though. We'll go with that. There you go. Add that to my prediction. So it's very detailed this week. 2 100-yard receivers, 1 100-yard running back. Austin Seibert misses the field goal that would have won us the ball game. There you are, Cleveland. That's what's going to happen. Don't even turn it on Sunday.
So Cleveland of you. All right, I'm gonna say that Nick Chubb, even with a little company in the backfield, still gets 20 carries in this game.
Okay. All right. How do you think Kareem Hunt does? I mean, how much do you think he plays, and how well do you think he plays?
I don't know. I think that he I would assume he's in good shape, but you always say you're not in football shape until you actually play. So I do think that Chubb's going to get the majority of the carries, but as this season progresses, I think that, God, I would love to go back to 2018 and run some of those dual running back formations that we used to run with those two blocking, going out for a reception, or running the football. There's so much we can do with that. And if Freddie Kitchens can't figure that out, you got to get rid of him.
Okay, a report just came across. Somebody sent me from WKYC 3 News in Cleveland. Report, Cleveland Browns committed to keeping Freddie Kitchens through 2019 season.
I saw that. Yeah, so they said they're not going to get rid of him. They're going to keep him through the year. And
so this is
then,
Ben Axelrod.
Then get rid of him.
Ben Axelrod is saying that, nope, they're going to keep him, which I think is what I mean, that's what we kind of expect. That's what we've been talking about on the show, is they're probably not going to get rid of him in season, I wouldn't imagine. But I guess they've officially said that, or at least said enough to lead people to believe they're not going to get rid of him. Because, of course, that doesn't mean anything in the NFL. They could go get rid of him this week, you know?
That is true. Hey, then you promote Steve Wilkes, who did a great job with the Arizona Cardinals. So there we go.
Urban Meyer is looking for houses up there in Strongsville. That's all I'm saying.
God, I think in the comments we had a who was it? Oh, Tomlin. They wanted to bring Tomlin here.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. He's not leaving Pittsburgh.
No, he might win Coach of the Year.
Around. Yeah, he's turning him around, so that's not going to happen.
No, a couple Bill Cowers out there too.
What about Tressel? Bring him in. How about that? Hey, we got a good kicker and a good punter. That's what he's looking for.
Field position.
He loves it.
Field position. I'm hitting the outro music on that.
Imagine what he would do.
No.
With the Scottish hammer and Tressel. Woo!
See you guys next Monday.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know. I ain't no goddamn doctor.